This is a Ritz-Carlton.
Coldest day yet.
This next one's the one.
Marching in down there, bro.
Oh my god. This is as good as beaches get.
Is there anywhere left in the world where you can be alone with a few friends, searching for waves and exploring with no one else around? As it turns out, there are still a handful of places like this, and figuring out where they are is half the adventure. I'm Matt Rote, a surfer and journalist who spent most of my life searching and scoring waves that are off most folks' radar. I was excited to explore an area that offered a little bit of everything, from remote point breaks to backless slabs. A small group of locals have been exploring this region for years, but there was still a lot of coastline left to scout. It was very remote and desolate, and promised to be an adventure no matter what we ended up finding. When the crew invited me out for a trip, I knew we'd want to bring surfers who were comfortable in anything, from 2-foot ramps to 12-foot tubes. Jordy Smith is a South African World Tour veteran and one of the most consistent, well-rounded performers in the sport. Between competition and spending time with his family, he doesn't have many opportunities to go off-grid. Fortunately, the timing was perfect and he was able to sneak away. Soli is a talented surfer from Australia who enjoys nothing more than a heavy barrel and isn't afraid of a dry reef. He's also comfortable roughing it and loves getting away from the crowd, so I knew this would be a perfect trip for him.
There's a lot of trips that we've been thinking about doing, and this one is a little bit different. We wanted to be camping, we wanted to be out far away from everyone, and we were looking for a specific type of wave, and we have like some slabs here and some beach breaks. And the thing about this area is there's always swell, but the wind is quite difficult to score. And so I think we probably almost pulled the trigger 3 or 4 times in the last 3 months. And finally we sort of saw this window and said, let's give it a go.
After a couple days of travel, we met up with the local crew who have spent the past 10 years exploring this coastline. They set us up with gear and provisions, and then we all headed into the desert. As asphalt gave way to dirt roads and cell service dropped off, we soon found ourselves in an isolated region full of rugged headlands and rocky bays.
The coastline around here is really raw. It's really rough. It's just kind of raw elements all around you.
Just one of those little hidden gems. Probably got waves for days if you had the time and the resources to kind of search.
We set up camp near a quiet little cove, next to a beautiful beach break and a number of promising reefs.
Scenic.
Yeah. And nothing out here. And whatever you bring in, that's what you have.
I love camping. I'd rather be camping than being in a house. And out here it just feels pristine and clean, and like a random farmer will drive by and give us firewood, and that's the only people we see for days at a time. And super cold at night, really warm, even hot during the daytime, but just rugged and exactly what I love to do. This is kind of my dream trip.
For me, camping is hardly ever, if ever. I don't know if you can call that camping. I was kind of glamping. Look at this!
Hey, this is
pretty good,
star.
huh? This is a Holiday Inn straight shot, bro. This is a Ritz-Carlton. I was the most comfortable guy here, so whatever.
It'd be pretty hard, yeah, for it to be better than this.
I mean, I don't know, but look at these waves. This is like as good as a beach break can really get.
Yeah.
At this size.
Freezing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be light wind this morning, and it was just cooking offshore all night long. It's pretty much as groomed as it gets and kind of the perfect size, but it looks like the wind might change quick. So Jordy's already running down. He's frothing.
Can't look at the ocean. Just like freaking out. I got sun cream in my eye. Got half a banana in my mouth. I'm like, come on.
Oh my god. This is as good as beaches get.
Dude, my hands, I'm about to melt these things on my hands to warm them up. First day, we didn't think the wind was gonna do what it did, but it was just offshore all night, super pristine in the morning, sort of like head high plus, and it's like this real slabby beach break, lefts and rights, and yeah, it was a real treat.
Oh, 30 hours was worth it. It always takes the pressure off the trip when you have a good surf. Pretty sure I've eaten about 2 peanuts and a friggin' 2 cups of coffee. I'm starving.
We were just trading off waves, having the best time, and I think that's really what the essence of surfing is about, you know, kind of going, finding locations where there's no one and just having you and your friends out scoring good waves.
I'd probably travel this far no matter what to score uncrowded waves. There's something to be said for having just like your mates in the lineup, just 3 of yous or 4 of yous. Yeah, so it's pretty special to, no matter how far you travel, to score something like that.
We were most excited about the slabs nearby and hoped we would have a chance to surf them when the swell filled in. We spent the evening around the fire, making our plans for the next morning, and then did our best to stay warm until sunrise.
Quite a bit bigger this morning for sure. There's actually some outer reefs that we didn't even see yesterday, and they've just started to crack, 2 of them there, and then the inside is sort of that 8 to 10 foot. When the wind comes up and the tide comes up, it could be pretty solid, and we'll go check the slabs. Compared to what we saw yesterday morning, you got to think they'd be pretty big.
Bro, it's marching in down there, bro. Easy chip.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
That was looking pretty doable.
You can make it, bro. Oh, you see that thing?
This next one's the one.
Oh my.
Rolling.
Oh, look at that thing.
Oh.
Bro.
Like a twisted little one section slab, and kind of looks like there's an entry. The exit's interesting. We're wondering like maybe if the direction were a little more west, it would give you like an escape route or something. Oh, it's twisted.
The reefs in the area had a lot of potential, but the conditions never seemed to line up for a session. Every time we checked them, they were never quite right. The swell was either too big or too small, or the direction or tide was wrong.
The trip was kind of based around chasing these slabs. We checked them a bunch, and it was unfortunate we didn't really get them.
We obviously came down here to get the slabs that we had been chasing, but you know, the direction were a little off, but we ended up getting the beach break. You know, yesterday, today, pretty much as fun as beach breaks get, really. Just being able to have it with a few friends out was really special. Oh, bro, what is this? A wetsuit for ants?
Jordy edition.
Bro, it's a slim fit.
Fits your bobblehead. That thing is
super fun, bro. Kind of like tried all morning, kind of fighting, trying to fight waves, and then we kind of sat back for a bit, and the wind just went dead, and then yeah, we just kind of hit that patch and stoked. Made it worthwhile.
Well worth all the hard work we've kind of put in to get here, and you put so much work into certain trips, and to get away from crew and to score waves, like have a little session where you actually properly score some pretty sick tubes and or whatever you're kind of chasing.
I think when we're at these locations, it's really nice to step away from kind of the hustle and bustle and the cell phone reception, everything like that. You kind of just get away from it all, sit around the fire and actually engage in conversation with your friends and with the people that you're on the trip with. And I think that's really special. So there's a lot of other added bonuses that come with, you know, being in a place like this, not just the great waves, but the environment that we have and yeah, the people that we connect with. Pump it a lot, dude. It's a harder spray. L'Oreal, it's because I'm worth it. The biggest lesson that I might have learned this trip has definitely been just to go that little bit further. Try that little bit harder, and what you get out of a trip is what you put in. So we get uncrowded waves with just our friends out, and there's nothing more we could ask for.
We weren't the first people there, and we didn't end up surfing all the waves we'd come for. But what makes this area so special is that it's always empty, no matter how good it gets. The only way to score is by doing research, tracking swell, and connecting with locals who are willing to share their waves and knowledge. Even then, you never really know what you're going to find, but that uncertainty is what turns a trip into an adventure. Throughout this journey, we spent days in the air, endured grueling boat rides, and drove past the end of the road. It took effort to go off grid and leave everything behind, but we ended up finding far more than we ever expected. It sort of makes you wonder what else is out there, beyond the edges of the map.